Alright, so this is the IPR valve, and again, this is not an instructional video, it's just something I'm doing today. Um, so this is the part that I need to install first using my, what did I just do with it? Using that new socket I just bought that I set down somewhere right here. So that socket, that fits that socket. It's a deep well 29 millimeter socket. And so then you put this back on. Sorry, one-handed here. Put that back on. Have the spacer. And then you have this little lock nut doohickey. I'm not sure which way. Yeah, I think I had it on the correct way before. Yeah, it goes on this way. If I can get it on there, like that. And that's how she blows. I gotta go find it. It's supposedly, from what I've seen online, it's kind of like underneath the water separator filter, which I'm gonna have to take that cover off, and it sits down in there somewhere. I'll have to get the flashlight and check it out, but it's down underneath this cover, down under the fuel separator filter, the filter fish. But I'll find it, get my step stool here, and see what we can do. Alright, so these are easy enough to take off. You know what them sons of guns did? Look at this. What assholes. They broke it. I had this at Ford to check out the codes, and them sons of bitches broke that housing. Look at this. Then you can see they tried to glue it. What f***s? I tell you, man. Frickin' tell you. Alright, I gotta get a step here. Okay, so told you I don't get many miles on my trucks, and this is what happens. I found that down in the engine valley. Frickin' mouse nest. How's that for a fine howdy do? I'm just grateful, man, they didn't chew up into any wires. Hopefully, I don't think. But to hell, that's just from letting it set. Anyway, and you're in a rural area. Well, I got all the space around me. So I'm glad I caught that. Actually, maybe this is a blessing, because that could have been a fire hazard sitting down in there. There's leaves. I vacuumed it up. I got a shop vac mounted into the wall in the other garage there with a long hose and also nice long narrow attachments. And I vacuumed it out. But I did find in that effort, I was trying not to let this thing run for too much so it doesn't get warm. It doesn't take long for the engines to warm up on you, that's for sure. But it's the alternator's already a little bit warm. I had my eyeball on it. It's down. It's right down here. I'll get the flashlight. I don't think it's going to be too too troubling to get out of there. It's just a little tight, but by now, man, I'm used to being monkey boy, having to contortionist boy get in all these goofy positions, man. It never fails. Man, that's when tools start flying. But that's it right down in there. Let's see if I can hold this flashlight with my mouth. Still have some leaves. Huh. Alright, but that nest was down in there. Right down here. Right down in there. So I gotta take that sensor off. Looks like it's kind of a clip-on sensor. Huh, haven't seen one like that before. Okay, I got the clip off of it, so that's the nut I need to take off on the head of that thing. Right there. Easy peasy, so he said. So it didn't take much to get that loose. That's that. There's the facer. Facer comes off. The housing comes off. And then I got to use the deep socket to get on that bugger. So let me get that. First, I'm just going to try the 1/2 inch with the flex, with the flex coupler on it. And if that doesn't work, I'll step it down to the 3/8 drive with the flex head and give that a try. But we'll see if this one works first. Let me try that 3/8. All right, much better. Good Lord. Man, that thing is on there. I might need to reposition this ratchet so I can get a better bite on this thing. I mean, get more. There it goes. Man. I want to go get a rag or something to get up underneath there. I think there's going to be some oil that comes out. So much shit down in here. I mean, wires and just, they got this thing. They couldn't get it any more congested with shit. There it is. That's the oldie. Not sure how you'd even physically tell the thing's bad. Alright, so now I gotta find where this bugger goes back in down there, because you can't see anything. There we go. I didn't want to drop it. Oh man, I got my knuckle right into that frickin'. I can't come from the back side. What happens if I go southpaw? Guess that's the best way to go about it. Go lefty. I started it, got a number of revolutions on it with my fingers, so come on, bugger. Turn. She's going, boys. We got it going, boys. Alright. I think there, senor, she's about as good as she's gonna get. Alright, so now for the sensor part. I'm a righty, but sometimes in necessities as such, you gotta go left. You gotta go southpaw. Yeah, shit, I got a bunch of oil down in that valley. Down and around and over and up. The thing? God, what's it? Come on, man. The last step of this thing, it's got to be the pain in the ass. Okay, boys and girls, that's the old. The new's in there. And the only piece part that I had left over is this new gasket, because it fell off and dropped down in the valley. But I put the old one in it, so it's got a seal in there. I put some dielectric grease on it, but I think in the course of trying to get that damn thing in there, a lot of it came off. But difficulty? No, not difficult. It's just a pain in the ass, at least for me, going left-handed and getting my hands scraped up, because it's not a lot of space in there. It was getting the plug back in on the end of it all was the pain in the ass, trying to get that bastard back up and plugged in there, but they got it. So I think I'm going to change the water separator filter while I'm at it here, and then move on to maybe some chipping and shredding. So a while since I did that IPR valve, and I had a filter on hand. I got a couple of them actually. I decided to change this out, and I have a little handy dandy tool that works on the cap. That works. I've had that for a long while. Works pretty good. Works pretty good. this. I gotta use two hands on this. Taking it, that's like a preheater down there. And I noticed the F350 and this Excursion are the exact same year, 2000, 7.3s. But that F350 is a pig to start in cold weather. And I noticed its filter housing is different, and it doesn't have like that assembly down there, which is, I'm assuming, is a preheater. Which I think has a lot to do with it having such a hard time cold starting. If it's not plugged in the winter, you know, the block heater plugged in, man, that baby just really wouldn't start. So cold weather, if that truck was in really cold weather, it'd be a sorry story. But anyway, I got the filter out, and I bought a case of these at one time for like an awesome price. And they come with the gaskets and all, so pretty cool, man. I got a good deal on these, because to buy them individually, man, these things are kind of spendy. Okay, so I got the filter back in, and like I said, this is not an instructional video, so I didn't show you. I put my O-ring on the filter and kind of put some the excess diesel fuel around it, and in the O-ring that goes around the cap. I'm just kind of showing you what I was up to with this. So I got that IPR valve changed out, changed that filter, and notice I got some oil down underneath the truck from that IPR valve leaking. I didn't think it was gonna let that much oil out, but I'm gonna have to get up top here and blow the valley out, because it's down on the ground. It sucks on the driveway, but I'll deal with that. I put an absorbent rag on it for right now. I'll get some kitty. I think I got some kitty litter around here somewhere. I got a hose. There's a little drain spigot for that. A little drain spigot for that diesel fuel coming out of the fuel, that filter, the water separator filter. And I just stuck a piece of hose on it to catch some of it, which I did. But then you can also see that there's the oil back there. So there's a little bit of fuel that comes out of there. And this pan had other crap in it, so that's not indicative of what the diesel was looking like coming out of there. There we go. Get my old body up off the ground here. This is going to be so nice to have the lift again soon. Got my permit approved. Just got to get the builder on site now. Got to get the well guy here. All right, just get that out of the way for now. All right. I didn't have intentions of changing that, but since I was here, I did it. Kind of tidy myself up. This poor truck, man. I used to keep this thing like in immaculate shape. It still looks good for a 20-year-old truck. Just needs some TLC. It's got a bigger turbo on it since I had to replace the turbo. And this bums me out. I'll have to order that. Frickin' Ford people. People, I tell you, man, what the hell? Why wouldn't they tell me they did that and replace it? Like I'm not going to notice it? I guess they figure people, you know, I'm not, I don't know. I'm not like your typical person that knows nothing about vehicles. I, changing my oil if I'm not traveling, and I get it done from some friends of ours that have a shop. But like, I'm not ever gonna see that. You know, not only is it disrespectful, not telling me about it, but to assume I wouldn't see it is treating me like I'm ignorant. I don't dig on that. So let's see what happens with this thing here. I have to fill that valve or the filter back up. Man, it's warm outside. It was hot yesterday. Man, it's kicking my ass. Doing that bush hogging. It really kicked my ass when I sat down. I tried to get it. I was on the Barca lounger, had my kicker up, and anyway, I went to get up. And man, both cramps on the inner thighs, both legs, inner thighs, cramps.